What's up, thrill seekers? Today we're exploring Koreatown, which is that way. Come with me.
Yeah, we're about, what time is it? It's about like 4:30 on a Monday. You curious to see what's open? It is also family day.
If you want to get to Koreatown from other parts of town, you're going to probably want to take the subway to either the Christie Station stop or the Bathurst stop.
I believe this right up here is Zui Beer Bar.
Oh, indeed it is. And if you've ever walked past the corner of Bloor Street West in Clinton, you've probably peeked in here and seen all of the really cool LED and neon.
I really liked it. I'm glad I finally got to go inside because the neon and like the decor is as cool as I thought it would be. I mean, I knew what I was getting with the neon, but the whole place is really sleek and like eye candy. So that was fun. Obviously, we are early drinkers today. We were pretty much alone in the place, but you could tell from the system that it's really designed to be like a social nightclub experience. You get your little light on your table that says whether you want to be private or whether people are welcome to join. And then you scan a QR code, you do all your ordering through the web experience. A lot of their drinks are clearly designed for a crowd. They do like towers of shots. We got a tower of shots. You get to pick your flavors. They're all vodka or rum based. I picked blue orange and lavender. Then also for giggles, got one of their martinis. It was very pretty. I swear the menu said it was vermouth and vodka. I was expecting just your standard martini, but it tasted like tea.
Have you been to Zui Beer Bar? Am I even saying that correctly? This is definitely a nightclub type of spot. It's very much made for socialization, so the fact that we were totally alone in there defeats the purpose a bit, but at least you got to see what it was like inside. Moving on.
We were not ready to eat. We weren't sure about the gluten friendliness of the menu, but they had a full menu, like kind of bar food looking stuff with a twist. It looked good. Something we won't be doing, but that there is a lot of here in Koreatown are the spas and beauty spots. Great looking fingernail flashes, skin places.
Well, it wouldn't really be a visit to K-Town for me if I didn't go to P.A.T, the Korean supermarket. Do you want to go inside P.A.T and browse around a little bit?
I love P.A.T. Let's go.
P.A.T. P-A-T. P.A.T.
What do you like about P.A.T?
I grew up in the American Midwest, and so every supermarket had like the same 12 ingredients, and 9 of them were loaves of white bread. So I just like the variety, and everything is so fresh, and it smells awesome in there because they're making those bean cake fish.
A taiyaki funnel cake smell.
Yeah, really, the fresh baked ice cream cone smell.
I love going there for produce. I love going there for meat, and then there's all manner of other exciting options.
You're gonna find a lot of ramen choices, a lot of fresh meats, especially meats for shabu shabu, which I love to get, you know, because that's like the easiest weeknight meal I can imagine, is just busting some thin sliced meat out of the freezer and heating up some broth, tossing in like some mushrooms and some sprouts and maybe some bok choy. The selection of hot chili pastes is second to none.
Same with the furikake.
A lot of different furikakes. Shall we continue?
We shall.
Okay.
Hanji Gifts, does that look open?
Yeah, let's go there.
I'd feel terrible if I didn't get to go into like a stationery and knick-knack store. Of course, I'm gonna try not to get hit by a car doing so.
Well, here we are at Hanji Gifts. Should we head inside and take a peek?
Let's check it out.
Okay. Hanji Gifts, you are adorable. You have greeting cards and stickers and dollhouse miniatures and adorable post-it notes. that have pandas on them with their butts sticking up so that you can write your note on the butt of a panda. And there's a Japanese style photo studio up there that's called Life 4 Cuts. I don't know why or what that means. I understand all of the words in the phrase, but not what they mean as a whole. This place also has this really cool paper sculpture of like a torso on the ceiling, which is weird, and weird stuff is kind of awesome. I highly recommend, if you're coming to Koreatown, to check out Hanji Gifts. What do you think?
I love it. It's exactly one of those places where I'm either going to buy nothing or I'm going to buy everything.
Yeah.
So the fact that I just walked out with a Post-it pad and a pair of socks is kind of amazing for me. So, but yeah.
I didn't realize there was an upstairs. There's a whole bunch of stuff up there.
I had no idea there was an upstairs, and it has a lot of super cute stuff in there, including that photo booth option. I've noticed a growing category here in Koreatown, storefronts that are dedicated like selfie studios.
The Nuttia Nut Milk Cafe has a funny name, but also gives me like Clockwork Orange vibes, you know, like what was it called? The Clover milk bar that they went to.
Lots of great little cute dessert places like this place. Koreatown will always get you the stunt dessert foods first. So this one, it has the croffle, the croissant waffles are happening. Kung Fu Tea, this is a really cute spot too. You know, your destination for boba and milk tea and all things adorable and bubbly. Cheese milk, that was a new one for me when we moved here.
Cheese milk?
Cheese milk.
Huh. What is cheese milk?
You know, I think it's kind of like cheesecake in liquid form.
You were just talking about like
the
rise of selfie studios.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what this is.
Monography. All right, that one happens upstairs. Right next door to another one, photo signature. It's a big space, lots of props, good lighting if you don't mind seeing like everything happening on your face. All right, and we're coming up on our last block of K-Town here. Oh, Snakes and Lattes is great, but we can only eat popcorn there.
But they have lattes. We should go here.
Okay, all right. Hello, just two of us.
Welcome to Snakes and Lattes in the Annex. It's one of two locations, so don't get them confused as I have done before, because if you're tired, it's kind of lame to arrive at one and then have to walk to the other one.
We went to the wrong one for Star Wars trivia one time. It was event-based, so it actually mattered which one we were going to.
Snakes and Lattes has an espresso bar, so you can get espresso drinks late. And we didn't do a coffee, but we did do a boba tea, which, how was it?
It was good. I mean, yeah, I forget. I was like, I don't really want a boba tea right now, but then I took a sip and I'm like, God damn, that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think that Snakes and Lattes was probably like the go-to spot in K-Town for boba tea.
It's not their specialty. In fact, on the menu it was marked new. They probably were like, we're in Koreatown, we gotta do bubble tea.
We got a bottle of Pinot Noir, and it's actually pretty decent. I really like this place. It's super comfortable. And they do a lot of events, like almost nightly, where there'll be different groups that get together to do different types of gaming. And like a lot of game cafes, they have their own economy almost, because a business where people sit at a table for a really long time without leaving is probably difficult to make profitable. So you can buy gaming packages, and there is, you know, just a set cost if you're going to sit down and game.
The game admission package is $20, and that includes 3 hours of gameplay, and then like they have a selection of unlimited like non-alcoholic drinks that you get with that, so you can get like coffee and soda and stuff, and that's included, and then that just allows you to hang out and game with your friends for 3 hours, and then there are all sorts of add-ons after that. Every extra hour, by the way, per person, $10. Included in the unlimited drinks, juice, soda, drip coffee, tea.
But not wine. That'd be bad.
No, that would be bad.
Oh my God, it's starting to rain.
Let's go eat some Korean barbecue. It's our last stop. It is at the corner of Bloor and Bathurst, which is the unofficial kind of end of K-Town. Another spa. We got a kimchi house. Sorry, kimchi house, that's not where we're going. We are going right next door to Arisu, Korean barbecue and sushi. We'll see exactly how gluten-free the menu is, but I happen to know that they at least have a labeled menu, and anytime I see that, it suggests to me that at least a business understands that gluten exists, and I'm not gonna feel kind of embarrassed to bring it up. So that's really all I'm going for. That's that's the bar.
Let's go and get some Korean barbecue.
Yay!
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was delightful. They were really thoughtful with the courses. We had our tenderloin come out first, which was so finely sliced on top that we grilled it. Then it just fell apart in your mouth and it was so good. Then we did all of our veggies, and then we did all of our seafood. The winners, the tenderloin, the mushrooms, the shrimp and scallops. Oh, I will come back. I will recommend it to a friend. Assuming we both go home and no one gets glutened, I imagine we'll be back.
Arisu, authentic Korean and Japanese restaurant barbecue and sushi. 2 thumbs up. Man, that was really good. They knew what was up with allergens and gluten, and they said all the right things, which is really exciting. Now is the scary part, which is the I feel fine now. Will I feel fine for the next 24 hours? And I really, really hope so, because it would be so cool to have this as a new go-to spot, because even though it's on the opposite side of Koreatown from where I live, which I live right near Christie Pits Park, it's 1 subway stop. We made it, thrill seekers. We explored Koreatown as just the whitest person in Toronto. I don't know shit about K-Town, and so if you know the DL on K-Town, if you party here, if you know what goes on late night, if you got the special intel on who's got the best shots, who's got the best Korean barbecue, and most importantly, who's got the best boba tea. If you know these things, please leave me a comment and let me know, because we're definitely going to come back. We had a blast tonight, and I can't wait to come back to K-Town and do a whole new different roster of stuff. So thanks again for joining us, thrill seekers, and we will see you in the next one.
You're still here?
We got a private room, really small, room for maybe 4 people in there, about the size of a medium-sized restroom. But I've never done private karaoke before, and I gotta admit that it was really totally different than regular karaoke at a bar. Everybody who's done it before knows this, but I've never done it before, so I don't know this. Basically, private karaoke, there's no embarrassment or shame, because you're just with your friends. So you get to just be a fool, and it's really fun. It's almost like having private bottle service or something like that. You get charged by the hour for the room, you pay per drinks, and there's rules. You're not supposed to bring in outside food or drinks. You're not supposed to smoke vape or smoke weed in there. Yeah, it's all reasonable. But I do highly recommend private karaoke rooms because, so fun. Do you go to a private karaoke spot that you like in K-Town? And if so, please leave me a comment, because I want to check out new places for sure. Hey, thrill seekers, thank you so much for joining me on this adventure in Koreatown, and we'll see you in the next one.